What is up, YouTube fam? Robbie C here, and today we are at John Lemaster Civitan Disc Golf Course. It's a little windy and I'm a little rusty because it has been over a month since I have thrown a disc and played some disc golf. So we're gonna see how the day goes. Before we dive in, we gotta ask the most important question of the day. How you doing today, Weston? Are you having a good one?
So catch me if I fall.
All right, so the age-old question, if I'm playing bad or if things feel off, should I take some time and step away from disc golf? Should I stop playing for a little while? This is something that I hear people talk about in not just disc golf, but like sports or activities in general. Like you hear about folks who will be like, yeah, I left for a little while and I came back, I was just better than ever. Or folks will leave for a little while, they'll come back and they just feel rusty and off. Well, conveniently, I had a pretty solid little reason about this big to take a little bit off. And so I actually, for you guys, you didn't feel any drop hopefully in the channel, or if you did, it's because you haven't been looking at the videos. But we dropped videos like normal throughout December. Didn't do Vlogmas for the first year in a couple of years because my son Leo Crawford was born, and really excited. It's been so awesome having him, but I filmed all of my December videos before December started. Basically, last time I touched a disc was early in December, and it's now January, and we're here throwing a disc. So I took a little bit of a time off. I haven't practice putted. I haven't thrown. The most activity I've been doing is just shadow swings in the house. So excited to see what things look like. I want to talk through the process, how I'm feeling about things, and then what sort of some time off, if used correctly, could mean for your game. So we're just gonna play 9 holes and kind of talk, chat, and throw. Let's fire up on hole 1. Hole 1 comes in at 370 feet. Basket is off to the left over there. It's a unique one because like the straight up the gut line, you can't hyzer in at the basket because there is a tree like directly in the hyzer route. Or if you want to go the forehand route, you can actually go right of this tree right here and inside this gap, sort of throw it at the parking lot and hope you fade in time. We're gonna go 2 off the first because that's what we do. We're gonna go backhand. I'm going shadow fax. I got this in one of the foundation boxes at the end of the year and thought it was pretty great. I don't know the shadow fax stays in long term because I'm really loving the trail. And funny enough, I have this Lorcana disc that Nate dyed for me. That's a Raider, and I'm gonna go forehand Raider on the outside. I normally would go Felon here, but like I said, taking a month off, so I feel like when you take some time off, disc up, go bigger. That way you're not trying to overwork things and over torque things when you're trying to get going. Wow, that just went nowhere. Like that was bad. I'm excited to watch the tape back on this. Let's see how the forehand goes. And the forehand slipped out as well. Now forehand, we got to remember, I took the back half of the year off of forehands. Those are rusty because we haven't thrown forehands in like 4 months. Like I said, this is the one tree that you just kind of can't be behind. And here I am. This is why you can't throw like the big pushing. The hyzer has to come in early, or you have to go super high and kind of cut between these 2 trees right here. So we don't really have anything. So we're just going to lay up, take our par and walk away. That is leaving ourselves some room. Was I better off just? I was. Well, that was bad. There we go. That was a confident putt. Second one was confident, but hey, we'll take it. That's a par to start. All right, this is a hole that I just don't feel like it does justice till you see it in person. It's a slow pushing turnover. For a long time, I stepped up and I couldn't do this hole well. I was trying to throw the forehand over and over again. And I think for players, as you're getting into the game, you start to see shot shapes and you're like, okay, if I throw as a right-hand player, if I throw a backhand, it moves left. Boom, that's a backhand shot. If I throw a forehand, it moves right. So when you step up to a hole and it moves to the right, you're like, oh, it's a forehand hole. The problem is the forehand, you either push it too straight, you hit that back wall before it's supposed to break, or it bites too early and you kind of need it to be pushing the whole time. So the backhand turnover actually is the shape. But we have the spore actually. The spore's in the back for 2 reasons. One, because at the end of the year I wasn't throwing the polecat because I failed at New London. Second, I don't really, and I enjoyed the spore. Well, I had it actually, I could throw this thing like super far. I gotta find one of the Cloudstone ones because I don't really love this like gummy neoplastic on it. Okay, I don't love hitting something off the tee. Good news is we know the guy who maintains this, and I think if I asked him like, can I just cut this out? I don't think he would mind at all. So you can see the basket over to the left over there. I see a gap that this is either gonna go really well or really terrible. Yeah. Here's the thing about this course, is that this course is really scoreable. There are actually like 3 holes that matter. It's hole 2, hole 17, and hole 18. You just can't take a big number on any of them. Because if you take a big number, the whole rest of the course is scoreable. So even if you take pars on those holes, super easy. Bogey here isn't like the worst thing in the world, but like a par feels like a birdie almost every time on this hole. It's just dead straight. Gotta hit a gap here. If you hit the gap and you get out there, money. This is where we hopefully bounce back, grab ourselves a birdie. I'm throwing super reserved. I could feel on that shot that I defaulted back to old form. That was better. That was better. It felt easier to throw, and I mean, it went so much farther. Also, that was, second shot was the Spore, first shot was Precious Child. Spore's so good. So I think that's one of the things when you take some time off. If you've taken time off and you're in the middle of form change, or you're trying to fix something in your game, if you've picked up a bad habit or something where you're like, hey, I started scoring poorly, or like my putt feels off, or it feels wacky, there's some hitch that I have and I can't figure it out. Over practicing can drill in that bad habit. But if you've been working on new habits and good things, if you take some time off, you'd be very intentional when you come back about what you want to be focusing on, because those old habits could quickly have snuck back in. Here we go. I liked it. Just not enough push. That was for you, Pete. There's a short basket straight in the middle of those trees. You kind of have to throw like a flex there. You can go longer flex, where one that like leans into it a little more and then fights out, that is straight out to the right, or you can go the forehand route and kind of let it crash downhill through here. That's where I like to go, because I just feel like bad forehands are too wide, and then you just kind of have to do a short gap shot up there, whereas the bad flexes can either overturn and you're like a mile away from the basket downhill, or you are overturned into this mess on the right immediately. Missed that. Yeah. This is like a 330 foot hole. Yeah, 330 feet. It's just right there. So what we're not getting a good read on is putting, because we're either super far away from the basket or we're up next to it. So this is in B position. It's a par 3. It's like a par 3.5. I'll just call it what it is. You get a 2 on this hole, or this pin location, oh, you are cooking. I have taken a 4 on this hole so many times. The hole goes straight downhill, and then it bends to the right, and then we have to go into like a tunnel corridor down a hill past grandmother's house, and then that's where the basket is. 393 feet. It's downhill, so it's very reachable, such as the C position is that silver basket that's all the way down there. That's 350, and I feel like you can throw a mid and get there pretty comfortably, because it is that downhill. So the distance is not the issue, it's where the basket's located. It's just gotta miss that. Okay, so that's tough, because we needed to miss that tree. We've now made the upshot really long. So you see white pole sticking out there, probably 75 feet past the white pole is the basket. And so we're trying to throw into that corridor. If we would have faded and got around this tree, we have like a 100-foot upshot. Instead, now we have like a 150 at least upshot into there. It was a fine shot, it's just short. Once again, putting's not really getting a test here because we are outside of circle 2 here, but sailed it a little bit. We're on the road to 450. We were on the road to get there. We were putting in the work, we were on the road, and we knew that Leo was gonna be a roadblock to that journey, and that's okay, because you know, there are more important things than disc golf. And so I think we're still on that road. We'll have video updates next week. Clint and I have talked. We're like, hey, we're getting back on the grind. We're getting back on the horse, getting back to it. So excited for that. Once again, just have to get old habits out of the way and get things going again. Getting you loose and comfy. That's why I wanted to do today as a baseline. Always do today as a baseline. I'm gonna be watching the footage from this, not only to like see how the video looks, but also to like, okay, you're back to dropping and pinning the elbow, which I think is probably what's happening as I'm rotating and I'm pinning the elbow a whole lot. So when we go to All-Stars, they haven't really changed the All-Star format very often. They changed the round at the end that matters, but I would imagine that we'll have a putting competition, a skills competition, and a distance competition. If they do it like they did last year, then the putting and the skills competition, or like the accuracy comp, you get to be in one or the other. Pretty much a lock to be in the putting competition. So I, for year 3 of being at All-Stars, won't get to do the skills competition, which is a bummer. I think that as someone who loves to throw approach discs, that would be a blast. But regardless, we're gonna be in putting. So that also means we probably are gonna be in the distance comp as well. Last year, everyone had to have one shot in the distance comp, and Side Guy has the clip. I threw this forehand because I just didn't want to mess around with the backhand.
Forehand?
Oh, yeah, that's a bomb, Robbie.
Go!
No way.
Yeah!
Wow.
Come on, Robbie!
But I would love to, a month and some change from now, when we are at that, to be able to throw a backhand for part of the distance comp and like actually have people be like, wow, Robbie throws over 400 feet now? Sick. Instead of like, wow, why does Robbie teach online tutorials? He's so trash. Wow, I can't believe Robbie thinks he's justified in saying things because he's terrible. That's so nose up, dude. It's short, it's nose up, it's not good. It's just not good. Let's try Precious Child. Drop zone. This is one of those holes that it's like, it's an island hole, great score separator hole, because usually you either make the island and you take the 2, or you miss the island, you go to the drop zone, which is circle's edge, and you take the 3. Or you take the 4. You gotta be a baller to get out here and get the circle 2 putt. That's good. That's a good vibe. No, that one we closed the wrist. Bang. Yep, we take another 4. Okay. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar, there is a podcast that Foundation runs called the Off-Season Podcast, where here, surprisingly in the off-season, they run it. And one of the segments on the show is where people submit pictures of them throwing, and then Brody and Trevor guess their rating as well as what division they play in. And in one of the photos that got submitted in an off-season episode, someone had a towel tail. And I know that the internet loves to roast me for this towel tail, so I think that it's places that it isn't. It's literally why I have to wear belt loop pants, because I keep it clipped to a belt loop on the back, because these Fly Towel Juniors that you can find a link for in the description, I love them to death. Full-size towel with a carabiner clip in the middle. And in one of the photos, someone had a towel tail, and Brody said, I've never seen anyone who's good, who has, like, I've never seen someone with that towel tail who's good. Like, I've never seen it. Well, that's hurtful. But that's fine, because thankfully Hunter and Trevor, Bogey Bros, came in. They were like, wow, Robbie's catching strays here. And Hunter had a great point that he was like, I think that sometimes I see people with a towel tail, and it is like they're watching Robbie's content and they've been influenced by Robbie, so they must be like newer to the sport. Once again, not saying that they're bad, maybe they're newer, but I'm not newer to the sport and I use a towel tail. So our subtle goal of All-Star is, if Brody's there, to throw good enough shots in some part of it that we can get Brody on camera to say the phrase, Robbie is good. He doesn't even have to say that I'm great, just good, so we can refute that. Because Brody's comment about the towel tail people is true. It's not wrong. Like, look at the video I'm doing today. I'm not playing very good. Ironically, on hole 4, we didn't throw the backhand flex line, we threw the forehand. I get hung up on the forehand here, and it goes too far. So we're gonna throw the backhand flex line, pull it just past these trees, let it flex out and fight its way down there to the basket. I want to address a comment that someone left on a video and making a public apology before that, because I'm waiting on people to walk by. Fun fact, because I think that a lot of people don't actually understand how YouTube comments work. If you don't like something and you don't want to see more of content, don't comment on the video, because the algorithm isn't reading, "This was trash, you're a terrible person, I hate your forehead." They're reading, "You cared so much about this video and it had such an impact on you that you want to see more." So then I just show up more, which doesn't sound like it helps when haters show up in comments. You've actually made me more of a problem in your life. There it is. Got it. Bang. See, you just pull it on a little bit of ante down that right lane. It flexes out, parked, going back to 1 over par. Let's go. So the comment that I wanted to address, I realized that I put that like troll thing out there of like, "You're not helping yourself when you do this." I do not consider this person part of that group, because I actually thought that he did a really good job in like wording his response, or his frustration, probably the best way to put it, in a really good way. And so this is very much an apology to him, and a shortcoming of like kind of just who Robbie Crawford is as a person, because I'll say in a second how this shows up in other points in my life. But Matthew Bartlett, Blue Mage 2517, I think is his like username, commented on one of my videos about how I preach mold minimalization a lot, and we talk about it on the In the Bag podcast, and we push mold minimalization, and he has a fair point. Maybe we push it too far, or I believe in it too much and I mention it too much, and so I want to talk about that. And once again, first I'll open with like, I apologize for how it's come across for those of you who are not into mold minimalization. If you have the same feelings as Matthew, I really do apologize for my tone in which I've presented it, because I can totally see why it's a problem. So Matthew mentioned that like he loves 99% of the content, but he's really tired of the shtick where I'm like, "Hey, if you want to like be serious about disc golf, you should mold minimalize. And if like you want to be competitive about disc golf, you should mold minimalize. And if you're not, well, you're just playing for fun." And that I am like speaking out of both sides of my mouth, and it's really condescending when I'm like, "But you do this for fun." Like, "Oh, if you want to play for fun," which I hope is not really ever the tone that I've taken in a video. I hope that I've not actually used the words, "If you want to take disc golf seriously, you have to mold minimalize." But I very much think that I probably have. So once again, I apologize for that. That is my bad. I want you to enjoy the sport however you best see fit. And where this sort of like overconfidence comes is something that I just do in my life too often. It's something my wife and I talk about a lot. I'm a very passionate person and I have opinions, obviously. One thing, when I form an opinion, I'm very slow to form an opinion. But once I form an opinion, it's because like I fully believe in it. And so the mold minimalization side of things is an opinion that I definitely did not land on. I spent the first 9 years of playing disc golf, seven to 9 years of playing disc golf, not on the mold minimalization side. And for me, when I started mold minimalizing, it made the game so much cleaner for me, so much easier for me. And so that's where I landed on that opinion. And I just want to guide others towards that. But I fully understand that like, that's not for everyone. And I am sorry if I've come across as like a my way or the highway type guy. I'm just trying to present facts, and I present what I believe in with confidence, because I arrived there after soul searching and confidence. But once again, I totally understand how that comes across as like, "You guys are fools." So that's not the goal. So we have 394 feet. It's shaped like a eyeball, hourglass. I don't know what the proper shape here is. We kind of just throw this felon hard down the right side, see if we can get there. I didn't make it down the right side. Looks like we're going left side here. Hopefully it kicked out enough that I'll be able to make the turn up and around, but the left side is way tougher to go down. We indeed did not get far enough out. So basket is, you can see a basket there. That's not the one we're going to. The basket we're going to is up and around the corner. So I think I'm going sole. And I'm gonna use every bit of my 6'7" frame to go up and high and hope that we make it there. Nope, sure didn't. We're definitely in circle 2. And if I'm seeing the picture right, yeah, we have a long putt. Really. That's tough. That's even tougher. It's a 450-foot par 4. It's just out there. Gotta get it. Gotta want it. I love this hole a lot. I think that these are the 2 of the best finishing holes in the state of Alabama. We're definitely rusty. Putting feels fine. I've got 2 goals because I wanna succeed. 3 goals for the year. 3 goals for the year because I know that I'm gonna have less time, like recreational time. I have less weekends that I want to be traveling for, like, just to play tournaments, because I'll be traveling for events because of the channel. So would love to try to shoot for, we're gonna go 985 rated this year. We're at 940 something right now. So 985 would be like low end goal. To do that, we're gonna putt every day. Try to putt every day. Unless it's raining, and then I will take a break. I'm not that hardcore. And then just play more disc golf. I think play more disc golf. So I need your ideas in the comments. What can I be doing to play more disc golf for videos on the channel that are like videos you guys want to watch, or their series or the challenges, whatever it may be. So let me know. Let's throw a shot. 450 feet. I'm going flex forehand here and just trying to jam one down there. I'm going to throw this hard. And when I throw it hard, it should turn a little bit and get us out that gap, hopefully. It's hard. It's just low. It's just low. Can't do that, Robbie. Oh, I can't do that. Yeah, I think that shot's impossible from here. So it makes this hole so hard. If you can get out like into the opening or get like an open shot, it's textbook from here. Try to ring this up, grab the 3, and walk out of here. It's too far. It's good. It's a really good effort. That's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Please make it fantastic for someone else too. But for now, we're gonna leave you with the birdie.